Hey, my name is Justin Valmeigen. I'm with SLS Senior Life Services, and we're a 50-year-old IMO out of Vero Beach, Florida. We have no association with Senior Life Insurance Company out of Thomasville, Georgia, nor are we associated with Lincoln Heritage, aside from the fact that we all sell final expense life insurance. So we sell final expense life insurance as an IMO, their carrier. Just want to make that distinction there. We are not associated with them, but we do know what we're doing. And we've been around for a considerable amount of time. And the president and CEO of the IMO, Mr. Rory Doherty, has been selling life insurance for almost 50 years now. So we have plenty of experience and we know what we're doing. This video is intended to show licensed life or life and health insurance agents a different system and a different model that's out there. We're pretty unique to the industry and the approaches that we take in investing in our agents. So maybe you're looking for something else. Maybe it's your first time taking a jump at this insurance thing and trying to make sure you get the support and the systems and the help and the structure that you need to succeed. Whatever it is that prompted you to watch this video, or hey, maybe we just randomly sent it to you and so you're watching it. Whatever it is, take the time to go through this. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that you find some value in what we've been able to create here to provide for our agents. Whenever people get into the final expense business, leads are the absolute most important thing. Like they're the lifeblood of your business. And what I found is that most new agents starting really struggle to find leads that have a high enough intent to where they'll actually buy a policy. But then also leads can be almost unaffordable at a lot of places, right? And it's pretty unforgiving, especially in a telesales system where you got someone on the phone and they can hang up on you just like that. So we actually provide all of the leads here at our agency to our agents at no cost. They're all included as part of the package in the SLS system. We use telemarketing leads. We use social media generated leads. We have live transfers. We have inbound phone calls. We have Google SEO leads, click to call campaigns. Really just about every single type of lead that you could possibly think of, we have here, and we're trying to always stay on the cutting edge of lead generation and lead development. And since we provide the leads to our agents, we want to make sure that they're like as good as possible. So just about every lead that you would be calling here has a ton of information, like how much insurance they were looking for, whether they use tobacco or not, their beneficiaries, maybe there's an answer to a security question, or on the inbound calls and live transfers, they are heavily vetted to make sure that yes, they are in the market and they are looking for this type of product. Now, all those leads that new agents are provided, which by the way, you're provided essentially an unlimited amount of people to call, or there's so many people that you would never be able to call them all. All of these leads are uploaded for you into a CRM, which is a computer program that you log into. It's a cloud-based platform. You just use a username and password and you log in and your leads pop up right on your screen. It organizes all their information for you and you just click on it and you give them a call. So it's really that easy. We took care of all the organization, all the marketing, all the advertising and everything else, so that the agent only needs to sit down and get to work. The goal of the system that we created here was to make sure that all that other little tedious stuff that agents get occupied with during the day that takes the time away from their sales, we've tried to come up with a system to replace that. So not only do you get leads, and are leads an important part of the final expense business, but then you also got to know how to close your leads, right? You got to know, hey, how do I handle this call? If I call out to someone and they give me this objection, how do I handle that? If I have a call coming in, how do I greet that person? Do I handle that differently than if I'm calling out to someone? Do I handle a new lead differently than an aged lead, right? So there are all these different techniques and skills that need to be developed in order for you to be efficient and effective at closing your leads. And our training system here is, I'm pretty proud of it. I mean, we've developed a system here where everybody starts going through a video training platform and they kind of get like an overview, a rundown of everything that we do, the products, the carriers that we sell with, which I'll be getting into here in just a little bit. And then they get put into our new agent training program, which when someone starts, it's for a few hours a day in the morning. We go through some basics and then we get you on the phone making calls so that way you can start making sales your first week. The way that we have our training set up here is a lot different than other places, because if you start out as an independent agent or you're just selling insurance elsewhere, typically like most agents starting out, right? They have to go buy leads, things like that. If you're starting out in that type of system, in order for you to make a sale, you pretty much have to know everything about your process from start to finish. Like you have to know how to generate the leads. You have to know how to call them. You have to know how to handle rebuttals. You have to know how to do the applications. You have to know how to underwrite. You have to know how to do all your products and everything else. And it makes it really challenging for someone to get started because that's a lot to learn as a new agent. So the way that we have it here, it's kind of a gradient scale training system. What I mean by that is, as a new agent, you don't have to learn all that stuff. All you need to do is learn the first couple pages of your script, get through it. You have someone on the phone. It's really just starting a basic conversation with the client, right? And then you ask them some questions about their health conditions, their height and weight, what they need the program for, things like that. And then once you get past that part, you actually bring a trainer or a coach into your call to help you close that sale. So every single new agent here is assigned a trainer and a coach to help them close their sales. So they get someone on the phone, they bring them through the first couple pages of the script. They say, hey, hold on. I'm going to get one of my benefits coordinators on the line with us here to help us with the rest of the presentation. We want to make sure that you are getting qualified for all the discounts and benefits that you're eligible for. And then what happens is your coach and your trainer, they jump in on your call and they handle the rest of the sale for you. That way you can actually hear it being done live in real time. Now everybody's working on Zoom. So you log into Zoom, you're making your calls through there, and you get someone on the phone and you need help with it. And this person, your closer, essentially the person who's going to help you close the sale, they jump on your Zoom call and you share your screen, and they can see all the information that you recorded from the client, and they handle the rest of the call. And that's their job. It doesn't come out of your commission, right? You don't have to split the sale with them or anything like that. You get paid the full commission on that. So that way, a new agent, they don't have to worry about learning all the products. They don't have to worry about learning all the applications. They don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It's just, hey, get on the phone. Let's get some reps in. Let's get comfortable with talking to strangers. Let's get comfortable with making these calls and getting some sort of system and structure in place. And then over time, as you are here longer and you hear your coach and your trainer go through those closes, you'll get better and you'll get more confident at handling these calls on your own. So it's kind of gradient scale. That's what I mean. Another great part of our training program is that you actually have live experienced top closers. I'm talking about agents that are selling 10 to 20,000 AP per week consistently, 100% over the phone, final expense telesales every single week. You're able to shadow them while they make their calls live. So you go in and you just watch what they do. That's what I did when I started and got into this business. I just found someone who was doing really, really well. I said, hey, what do you do? And I tried to copy exactly what they did. So you actually have an opportunity here. We're not a selfish agency where people don't like, oh no, I'm not going to put that time in. No, we're all work together. So you have multiple different closers that you can listen to and learn from to see maybe who may best fit your style. In addition to that, after the basic training, the responsibility of your coach and your trainer are to work with you on the more granular things to help you really, really tweak your sales process so that those small tweaks can lead to big peaks in your production. In addition to that, at SLS, we have a pretty considerable advancement opportunity and advancement program where you can actually move up through the agency and the organization and start on a path to starting your own agency and your own team, or where you can kind of take on a role of a coach or a trainer, or maybe you just want to bring some people on to work here and you want an override and you don't want to have to work on training them and coaching them, then we have that too. You don't have to recruit here. We're not like MLM based or structured like that or anything, but there are advancement opportunities into leadership, and there are remuneration programs where people can get paid for their recruiting efforts if they wanted to refer some friends here, some family here, or if they wanted to just go recruit people on their own. So there are ways to move up through the company as well. And also, I have a program for my agents where I personally invest $8,000 to $10,000 of my own money every single month into their agency growth after that person has been here for a year or more and they've demonstrated consistency in production, consistency in emotional stability, and consistent leadership traits. And if that person wants to move into leadership, I go all in and I invest all in with them to help recruit people to get on their team to grow their agency. So that's just one example of some of the opportunities for advancement that we have here. We also cover E&O insurance for our agents, and we have a structure where you know what you're going to be doing every day. We have a ton of people dialing on Zoom with each other, a ton of top agents who are there that are great role models for you, and they'll show you exactly what you need to do to be a successful producer in this business. Now, our compensation structure starts at 50% of the annualized premium plus bonuses. Now, I know some of you watching this are going to say, well, I can get 120% somewhere else. Yeah, well, 120% of zero is still zero. Our agents are cranking out sales, multiple sales per day, at that 50% plus bonuses. Bonuses are no joke. They can considerably increase your income. For example, if you made $150,000 here, about $110,000 would be advances, $40,000 would be in bonuses. So if you're able to qualify for those bonuses, and we have weekly bonuses, we have monthly bonuses, we have semi-annual bonuses, we have quarterly bonuses, there's like 20 something different bonuses and cash prizes throughout the year. If you're able to qualify for those, which are based on production, you drastically increase your income. We actually have a $100,000 guarantee here as well, where if you hit certain targets in your first 12 months here, your first 12 calendar months, if you hit certain targets of activity and attendance for training and things like that, like if you check all these boxes, we guarantee that you will make $100,000. And if you make less than $100,000, then we actually write you a check for the difference. That's how confident we are in our system. So a really great feature of our compensation structure is where you have predictable income that you know you're going to get paid every single week as long as you make a sale. Now I'm going to go over why this is different than the rest of the industry here. So there are things called chargebacks, where if someone cancels, it comes out of your next week's check or your next commission check with that carrier. Now the great thing is all of the companies you sell are underneath the SLS umbrella. So if you sell one company and that chargeback comes, it's not going to affect your business with that carrier because it's all covered under the agency umbrella. So the chargebacks are all pooled into one scenario. Now, what we do is we hold a small piece of each advance that you get in a separate account to make sure that if someone cancels, it comes out of that separate account, not your next week's check. That way, every week, you know that you can get paid and have predictable income. If your significant other's like, honey, what are you making this week? You always know that as long as you make a sale, you're going to get paid. And as long as you're working, you have the assistance of your coach and your trainers to make sure that you will make those sales and get paid. We have not a single person who's putting in a full-time effort here, brand new, starting out, who's not consistently making at least $500, on the very low end, upwards of $2,000 and more per week, just starting out. Top producers are expected to make about $150,000 or more in their first year here, and it's just going to keep growing because you actually get paid renewals for 9 years. So you get paid a big chunk your first year, and then for the next 9 years after that, you do get paid renewals. So for carriers, we sell American Amicable, Prosperity Life, Gerber Life, and American Home Life, which is pretty much like Aetna, United Home Life. So those are the carriers that we sell. We can get just about every single person qualified for an immediate benefit program, unless they have some crazy health issues going on or something. But about 80-something% of the people that we sell were able to get qualified for a great program, a level day one benefit, meaning it kicks in the day they make their first payment for a low rate at extremely competitive rates. If you're already contracted with some of those carriers, that's 100% okay. We have letters that we send out to those carriers to help you cancel those appointments. And because we put most of our business with just a few all of our business with just a few carriers, we have some pretty big pull at those carriers when it comes to releases and stuff like that. So if you did need some sort of a release to work with us, then we can help you with that, and we can we'll do the best we can to assist in that process. Now, with that being said, you are expected to cancel any insurance appointments that you have before joining here. Now, if you make a ton of money in renewals, I understand some people are in situations where they make a bunch of money in renewals from their health carriers or their ACA plans or Medicare or something like that. Look, if you're making a bunch of income from that, I wouldn't expect you to cancel those to kind of just take a jump at this. That's an exception, and we can talk about that, because if you have that, it means that you're a top producer. I would want to have you on the team, and I wouldn't want to lose out on that opportunity to work with you. So just reach out to us. We'll go over kind of the special program we have there, the exceptions, kind of how we work with that. But if you have a life insurance carrier appointments, even if you cancel those, you're going to get renewals. Maybe you're looking to try to sell like a big annuity here or there. You will be expected to cancel those appointments. You may have a conflict with that. I understand. But look, if we're a shiny object for you, right? Like if you're like, man, that sounds pretty good, let me see what they're doing, maybe that would help me make some more money. If that's the case, then maybe whatever you're doing now isn't bringing you the amount of money that you need to not have to really worry about any other companies out there and what they're doing. Because I know I make enough money right now where I don't really care what other companies are doing and what their comp plan looks like and what this and that looks like, because I'm well on my way to making $1 million. I'm closer to making $1 million than $500,000. You know, when you kind of get there, it's like, does it really matter what someone else is doing? So no shiny object's going to distract me. So all I'm saying is that, one, I've done that in the SLS system pretty quickly. And then also, two, like if you're worried about canceling your other carriers, maybe you need someone to invest in you. And maybe that you're maybe not making as much as you could make in something else. So reach out to me if you have any questions about that. I know it can kind of be a tough situation sometimes for some people. There's very, very unique situations too. So more than happy to talk with you about that. We provide so many leads and so much training and so much support to our agents. You barely have enough time to handle the leads that we give to you as it is. Like our agents barely have enough time to do that as it is working full time. And if they're distracted with other things to worry about maintaining an existing book or worry about generating new business somewhere else, it takes a lot of time and energy and effort away from putting the effort into us that we put into our agents. You know, it's like I'm looking for people that are that want to go fully committed, all in. And I hope you can understand that. With that being said, I'm really only looking for people who are committed, all in, and are looking for a full-time position where for the first 90 days or so, they can put a 50-hour or more commitment into this. Like I said, you're 1099. I can't tell you when to work, but I'm really not looking to work with anybody who can't put that type of effort in, because that's how we rock. I mean, we put a full effort into everybody else. And I'll give you like a metaphor, right? If I'm in a relationship and I'm putting 110% relationship into this woman, and she's kind of talking with other guys, it doesn't make me feel good, right? Because I'm all invested in. Now, if I'm not 100% invested into her, I can't really get upset if she goes and maybe looks for someone who's going to be more invested in her. We are 100% invested in our agents, so we kind of look for that in return. Now, the goal here is not to have you just toil and be miserable for 90 days. That's not it. My goal is to make sure that we can get you to the point where you can be producing at a very high level within 2 to 3 months, which is very, very fast in this business. Takes you a few weeks to learn it, takes you a few weeks to apply it, takes you a few weeks to really start shining. Can you start making money right away? Yes. We get agents super fast starts here, faster than any other IMO I've seen in the entire industry. We get them rocking and making sales right away and making paychecks. But it's going to take that 2 or 3 months before you get all of this stuff down to where you can be producing on your own without needing help from anybody else. And when you get to that point, I don't care what you work. I don't care what your schedule is. You can work to make the amount of income you want, work as much or as little as you want, as long as you're happy and achieving your goals. My goal is to help you achieve your goals, whatever that means to you. We do also have an 8 a.m. Zoom call. So all new agents are expected to be on an 8 a.m. call. It's not that hard. I mean, it's on Zoom, right? You attend it from home. I don't think that's unreasonable to ask for. I've never been at a company in sales where we didn't have like early sales meetings and weren't expected to be there. And I had to drive far. So you can literally just like do it from home with the computer on right there. It's super simple. If you're driving your kids to school or something in the morning, then, just appreciate if you have the phone on listening in, because you can really learn a lot of good stuff on there. Like we share a ton of gold nuggets on those morning calls. So it's really important for you to be on, and that's part of the $100,000 guarantee that we give people here. Basically, a day in the life of an agent looks like this here. We log on to our morning call at 8 a.m., and then after that, we get into training or we get into sales calls, depending on where the agent's at. You make your calls through the day. If you're brand new, all you got to do is get someone on the phone, bring them through the first part of your script, record some of the answers to the questions that are on the script. You bring in your coach into your call to help you close the sale. You're just trying to tee up sales for your coaches and your trainers, and it doesn't come out of your commission. And then after a few weeks to a month of you hearing them do that a bunch of times, then you start handling it more on your own. And they're still there to help you if you run into trouble. But it's kind of like training wheels, right? We give you training wheels and we slowly kind of just let you learn on your own. You got to run, or you got to walk before you can run, and you got to run before you can soar, right? So that's a goal here. I think I covered just about everything. If you have any questions to me, please just, for me, or if you'd like to pursue this further, please just reach out to whoever sent this to you, or you can send me a text message at the phone number that's on this screen. Once again, my name is Justin Von Meigen. I appreciate you watching this. And look, and even if you don't work with us here directly after watching this video, if you're like, hey, this isn't for me, check me out on YouTube. Just search my name, Justin Von Meigen, or go to youtube.com/@finalexpense. I got a few thousand followers or subscribers on YouTube, and I have a ton of content that can help you crush it in final expense telesales.